Good evening, everyone. Change. It's eternal. It occurs every day, minute, and second. These changes, whether they seem good or bad at the time, will teach you something new. And these changes will make you a more flexible, understanding person and will prepare you for the future. But our future seems to have a different plan in mind, which isn't good. It's the change of the future, climate change. I'm Vinisha Umashankar. I'm 14 years old, a grade 9 student studying in Tiruvannamala. I'm also the innovator of the solar ironing cart and many more eco-friendly innovations. You could also call me the jack of all trades, master of some, as I have many different hobbies and they vary in various different fields like arts, music, sports, cooking, science and technology. Speaking of science and technology, let's come back to the topic of climate change. Battling climate change cannot be done by one country or few countries. Tackling it requires a global effort. This is where COP26 comes in. And I personally think that partnering up with UK and India and in the process of partnering up with other countries is a really wonderful initiative, and I am positive that it will yield exceptional results. These results can become a reality with the help of brilliant minds with a fresh perspective. Yes, I'm talking about innovation and innovators. Innovation is a really useful tool when it comes to tackling climate change. Here, I'd like to brief you on my prominent innovation, the solar ironing cart. So, initially, I innovated the solar ironing cart to give the ironing vendors in India an alternative to charcoal-based irons. Little did I know I would come all the way to this stage, giving a speech on climate change in a conference. All that aside, when I first developed the idea, I was only 12. And back then I didn't have much experience, but I knew using charcoal was wrong. So I did some research and I concluded that there may be 10 million ironing carts in India alone, each burning around 5 kg of charcoal. This leads to around 50 million kg of charcoal burnt every single day in India alone. Now think about it, charcoal-based irons aren't only used in India but in many developing countries across Asia. So, just imagine the impact that charcoal alone would have on climate change. This kept me pondering, could I invent an alternative to this? If so, what would it be? Then I realized it's quite obvious India has a hot climate and we could use solar energy to our advantage. So I innovated the solar ironing cart. And its advantages include eliminating the usage of charcoal completely. And what are the disadvantages of charcoal? The first one being it causes pollution. All three types, land, air and water. And how does this happen? By dumping it in the garbage, which always happens in this country. So, eliminating that is one step towards reducing the impact on climate change. Also, the production of charcoal. Charcoal is produced by chopping trees and then burning them. So, in the process, we cause deforestation, especially in Africa, where most of the charcoal is imported from. And further away from that, ironing vendors often get respiratory diseases because they inhale carbon monoxide from the fumes that are produced by the charcoal. So by eliminating the usage of charcoal, I'm eliminating all these issues which may contribute to reducing climate change. Apart from the solar ironing cart, I also have another invention. It's called the smart ceiling fan. The smart ceiling fan is with sensor-based technology. It has aerodynamic blades. It's built with lightweight materials to increase its speed while rotating. Seeing here we're sitting with all fans around us, I decided that fans are an integral part of the Indian society, especially in a climate where things are almost always sunny in this country. I decided to innovate the ceiling fan. And it's also really eco-friendly because since it's both aerodynamic and lightweight, it can easily decrease the electricity usage. And also since it's sensor-based, it can turn on and off when we enter the room and exit it. So it's really useful coming to the Indian society. And it can have a considerable amount in reducing the impact of climate change. Speaking of climate change and innovation, all you need to innovate is a good knowledge of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, and a touch of curiosity. These can generate overflowing ideas. Through the centuries, we've heard of many prominent thinkers, scientists, and ideators. Let me name a few of them for you. Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, Isaac Newton. Did you notice anything which was similar in all of these names? One of the things is they are all great. That aside, they're all men. Not that it's bad, but where are the women? I'm sure they would have also had some great ideas in the past, but where did their ideas go? Surely they didn't disappear into thin air. The reason being, they weren't encouraged that much. But we live in the 21st century, and entering the century with these burning questions like, where are the women ideators, and where did their ideas go, and why aren't they known? We started the 21st century. What came out of it was an increase in school-going girls. As this increased, women began to prove themselves in every single field that exists on this planet. So that aside, we have many women who are prominent today. First of all being Santosh Yadav, Malala Yousafzai, and Ada Lovelace, Marie Curie, Florence Nightingale. All of these people have proved themselves in fields which were previously dominated by men, but not longer. Now it's almost all equal. And here we have a world today where both men and women can thrive and prove themselves in every field that exists. To conclude, this decade should be about reducing the impact of climate change and women in innovation. Thank you for the British High Commission for having me here. Stay curious and have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinisha. Absolutely enlightening.